Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to NetworkChuck. Interview with Kevin Wallace, double CCIE, author of the CCNP route book, and just overall beast. He talks about his 6 steps to IT career success. Man, straight up fire, seriously. And stick around until the end. He's got a few freebies for you. Welcome back to NetworkChuck. I've got the one and only Kevin Wallace here.
Hey guys.
With the KW Train. There's a ton of training on route switch, on collaboration, and pretty much everything in IT realm, right? I mean, it's just...
Yeah, getting into cyber ops stuff now.
Well, if you want to check out even any of Kevin's stuff, I'll have a link below. I'll also link some of his training and stuff on the things up there. But real quick, we wanted to just get here and chat. Kevin has been doing training forever. And he has, what, 2 CCIEs?
A couple of CCIEs, yep.
I asked Kevin to come on the channel, first of all, because he's Kevin Wallace. I mean, you've probably heard of him. If you haven't, come on. But he has some amazing tips on just getting started in your IT career, the path you want to take, just getting your blueprint and your roadmap set out. So Kevin, you had like 6 steps, right?
Yeah, and actually, there's a step 0. So
step 0, here we go.
Step 0, it's a non-technical step. But I see so many people, they love technology. I love technology, always have. And they jump right into the technology, but they don't advance very far in their career. So what I see a lot of people lacking, because I used to be in management, I much prefer to just build stuff and work with stuff, but yeah. Management's not my thing. But when I was in management, I would see a lot of people that didn't have basic skills as far as how do you conduct yourself in an IT interview? How do you create an IT resume that's really going to grab employers' attention? Just one quick tip here. If you've got a couple of IEs and you've got some DPs and you've got your A+, don't put all that on there. Just they don't care about, I mean, not knocking any of those certs. Those are awesome, but I always say put your highest level certs on there. And well, I've got a bunch of, in fact, here's what I'll do. I'm a big fan of NetworkChuck too, so here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to, just for all you guys that follow him, I've got a course. It's called Your Blueprint to Your IT Career Success. We'll put a link down below. Yep. You can just go to that link, and I've got an entire course that walks you through like all my basic career soft skills, if you will, how to start your own IT consulting company, how to set career goals, how to do an IT interview, what's coming up in IT. I'll just give it to you guys for free, just for being a follower of NetworkChuck. So I won't spend any more time on step 0 because I'll give that one to you. Now the next thing, and this advice has changed dramatically over the last little bit, because I used to say, well, start with your NA route switch. That seems basic. But you know, the last version of NA route switch, there's BGP on that now. Which is crazy. Yeah.
That's crazy.
That was, also, when people ask me what's the hardest thing, I don't even say BGP. You've got to configure IP SLA on the CCNA route switch. Which is crazy.
I mean, that was a new topic for me on CCNP. Like, that's so crazy.
It's crazy difficult. The bottom line is, when I took the NA, and I've seen it evolve over the years, I got my NA back in '98.
That was a long time ago.
They had the NA back in '98.
Back then it was pencil and paper test.
Fill in the bubbles. But what I'm getting at is they've had to leave out some of the basics, like what does the EATIA 568B standard look like, and how do you pin things out, and how do fiber optics work, and your indices of refraction. You miss all that stuff. So what I tell people to do now is start, you ready for this? CompTIA's Network Plus. I didn't used to say that, but I think if you're going down on an IT path, I think you should get your CompTIA. I think everybody should get their CompTIA Network Plus, not because a hiring manager is going to say, hey, this guy's got his Network Plus, but I think it's going to fill in so many gaps that you just might not get otherwise. So that would be my, I guess, the first official technical step.
Now, if you don't mind me stopping there,
please,
because I do have a video where I say skip the Network Plus and go for your CCNA.
Controversy.
Ding, ding, go. No, so that is interesting though. So what I argue is that the CCNA is a better cert to have, and you will get everything you need in just going for the CCENT. Mm-hmm. So in your experience, why would someone do the Network Plus over the CCENT?
It's not for getting that job. I agree that that's going to be a lot more valuable industry-wise.
It packs a better punch on the resume, I think.
Absolutely, absolutely. The reason I say get Network Plus is because I just did the new complete video course for Pearson on Network Plus, and I've done the books or video. I've been a part of it for the last few versions. I love the new version. Our friend Anthony Sequeira calls it the 007 version, like the James Bond version, because
it's the 007 revision.
Yeah, it's N10-007.
Yes.
And it's an awesome curriculum. I mean, it's stuff that everybody needs to know, and if you just go for CCNA or CCNP, you're not going to get it. And so I say do it for yourself, don't do it for your resume. But I think everybody should get their Network Plus.
Yeah, and to be honest, and I was going to make a video about this because I actually helped out on the CBT team to create their new Network Plus course, so not to step on your toes or anything. But I think what it gives you is that breadth of knowledge before you start taking the step into a vendor-specific cert, because that's what the CCN is. It'll give you a great foundation on networking, but Network Plus will give you a lot more than just that. You won't go deep, but you'll go wide. And that's a good point. I think that's a really good cert to start with as well. But anyways.
Well, the second step, the second technical step is getting your CCNA in routing and switching. That's where the employers start to really see that on the resume, and that starts packing a punch. Now, a lot of people come to me and say, well, I'm really interested in security or data center, or we both love collaboration. We're collaboration guys. And the cool thing is, you can get your collaboration NA without ever getting your route switch NA. You can go directly for it.
Which is crazy to me.
Yeah, exactly, because here's what I tell, whatever your passion is, everything routes and switches. Think about it.
Yep.
You're doing a wireless network. Those packets, at some point, they're going to route. They're going to switch.
They're going to hit a router. They're going to hit a switch.
I think everything routes and switches. I think you need to know that as like your core competency. Now, after that, my advice on this has changed in the last couple of years. I used to say, go after your passion. No, really. Whatever it is you love, you're going to be spending a lot of time doing that. So that's you true. Really better like whatever it is you're studying. I mean, I've been, my dad worked at a telephone company. I grew up in and around central office, so I love telephony. It's in my, it's cool. Literally in my blood. So I just love that, and that's kind of the track I went down. But and I think that's still good advice, but there's been a couple of changes in the industry, and I've been doing this, we were talking earlier. I started working with Cisco routers back in 1989 with the very first Cisco router, the AGS Plus.
I will be honest, I have no idea what that is.
It was a very large box with ribbon cables in it.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, it was...
punch cards and everything. Fred Flintstone stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I've been doing this a long time, and in all that time, I've never seen the kind of changes we've seen in the past couple of years. There are two major things coming along. So I think maybe the next thing you should do is you should get your CCNA Cyber Ops that we were kind of hinting at earlier. You hear the statistic thrown around, and it varies where you hear it, but what I'm getting is over the next couple of years, there are going to be 6 million jobs in cybersecurity. And the shocker to this is a fourth of those, 1.5 million jobs, are going to be unfilled. That's why Cisco is really pushing it in a huge way. They're doing it here at the Cisco Live conference. They did it last year. And I think everybody needs to get their CCNA in Cyber Ops as your next step. Again, you might not be going after Cyber Ops as your career path, but Chuck Robbins in his keynote yesterday was talking about, he said security is the foundation of everything networking. And as things get more and more complex, and we've got hybrid clouds and multiple clouds, it's got to be secured. And I think everybody needs that as another foundational skill. The next step, and I forgot what number I'm on now, but it's...
Big run. You started at 0, that threw me off.
I think we're on 4. Wait for the comments to come down. No, that was 3.
Yeah, correct if we're wrong, comment below.
All right. But next, I think another huge driver that we're hearing about this year, and I heard it last year at Cisco Live, is programmability. I mean,
buzzword.
Network programmability, or SDN, software-defined networking. Now, I'm sure you're the same way, but I love CLI. I love cranking out the commands. And
that's what makes me so sad about this SDN stuff. They're like, well, you can do things in the GUI. I'm like, I don't want to.
Yeah.
No. Because there's nothing more satisfying than getting in there and configuring a whole switch in a router.
Exactly.
Just in that black and white interface. You feel like a wizard, right?
Yeah. So. You're at one with the hardware. But yeah, and that is going to radically change everything. Now, when I first heard about it a year or so ago, I thought, okay, for configuring routers and switches, okay, I get it. Instead of configuring them one at a time, you can configure a bunch at a time. But I was talking to one of the collab engineers and or one of the other Cisco engineers, and he was saying, no, this is like across everything. If you're in collaboration and you're used to configuring Communications Manager, you're going to be writing code. It's going to be code that goes out there and configures your unified communications devices. So it's everything. So I think that's something else everybody needs to get. Now, if you'll pardon me for a shameless plug, I'll tell everybody where they can get some training on that.
Plug alert! Plug alert!
Now, hopefully everybody I hope you subscribe to Safari Books Online. I'm just one of the many contributors to that.
Well, yeah, which you guys saw my video about that, and that's one of the benefits. Is this guy is all over that thing.
And I'm a subscriber. I mean, I've been a subscriber for years. And one of the products you can get on there, if you're a subscriber, I did something called the Fundamentals of Network Programmability course, where we teach you how to do Python. We teach you how to write Python scripts that.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't know you had that.
Oh yeah, we show you how to talk to an APIC controller, an APIC EM controller, how to write code that will secure shell to a router or switch and issue configuration commands. It gets you started. We rely a lot on the Cisco Dev Net sandbox. Cisco Dev Net. Thanks, guys. They did an awesome job.
Fantastic.
They give us so much free stuff. You can pay thousands of dollars for that stuff, or you can go out and use it for free.
Seriously,
and
free account. They give it to everyone.
Yeah. And you just so if you're a Safari subscriber, even if you're not a Safari subscriber, sign up for a 7-day free trial and go through the course for free and do it that way.
You can watch it in 7 days. You can watch it in 2 days.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know how long it is, but
it's like 7 hours. Yeah, you can definitely get through it. So check that out, because really I really think that is changing everything. And there's so many engineers that I talk to these days that just don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to learn. They don't want to learn Python. They love their CLI, and I think it's going to hurt them. I'm really concerned.
And that's the biggest fear. Like, you guys have been asking me about this, and I want to see what your opinion is.
Sure.
But they're saying that, why am I wasting time on the CCNA? I'm seeing all this SDN stuff come out. The CCNA really doesn't cover SDN, so is it a waste of time? Am I not making myself employable? What's happening?
Yeah, I get the same questions all the time. People think, why do I need to know how it works if the big buzzword here at this show is intent-based networking?
Yes.
With intent-based networking, which is awesome, by the way, I can say, I value this app more than this app, and this thing called EasyQoS on the APIC EM will just blast it out with appropriate configs everywhere. It's awesome, but I compare it to a mechanic. A mechanic has the computer now. They plug it into the car and it tells them exactly what's wrong. It makes them much more efficient as a mechanic, but they need to know how to change a spark plug. And it's the same thing with networking. Yeah, I can give my intent to the network, but I need to understand, and I'm glad that all this automation is in place that will make my job much easier, but you need to know what it's doing. I mean, I don't completely agree with everything that EasyQoS does. It's like, no, I want a different amount of bandwidth. I don't want this to be in the priority queue. You need to understand what's happening. Don't just blindly trust everything. So I love the term Chuck Robbins used last year. He called it a hybrid engineer. He showed the Venn diagram of the CLI people and the programmers, and just like overlapped, and the intersection there.
We call those unicorns.
I've heard you call those unicorns. Yeah, the hybrid engineer, that is the engineer of the future. So I think that is super critical. So that was step 4, I believe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Step 5 is we're going to return to route switch now, because.
All right, we're safe now. We're going back home.
Deep cleansing breath. With route switch, I think we should now again, this is what I would do if I were starting over. Your mileage may vary. You may have specific job things that would be different. But if I were starting over, I would then go back and get my NP in routing and switching, because again, everything routes and switches, and it's going to make such a bigger impact career-wise. Now, I used to be in a hiring position. I worked with people in the hiring position, and NP packs a significantly bigger punch than an NA. Love the NA, get it, but the NP, they know that you can go deep.
Right.
whatever technology it is.
Well, and I kind of think about it like a college degree. It just shows that you invested the time into it, and you spent. I mean, it's 3 tests. NA, I mean, it's an awesome certification, but you can get it and still be at that kind of shallow water depth. They want to know you go deep, and that's what it offers for you.
Yeah, so I think you should prove you go deep, and why not go deep into something that you are going to be doing. You're going to be doing routing and switching. And then finally, this is where we get to choose our, in fact, that's what I call it. I call it choose your own adventure. Because here, if you love security, you go deep into security. If you love data center, go deep into data center. You've got this great foundation. You're going to be able to be conversant with everybody out there. And I get the question a lot about, well, isn't IE the next step? I've given that a lot of thought. Now, Chuck mentioned at the beginning, I've got a couple of IEs, and it puts a significant impact on your life. You better have some good family support.
Which, by the way, how many, when you're in the middle of studying for an IE, what's your study schedule like? How many hours a day are you devoting?
Well, I'll give you an example. When I was doing my last collaboration IE, I remember I had it calendared out. And from someday in August until someday in the following March when I passed, I had study time scheduled every day, except Christmas. But other than Christmas, I mean,
his family got Christmas. It's like prison.
Exactly. But every single day, I was preparing for the IE. It was just that tunnel vision. But I mean, it impacted my health. I'm super blessed to have an awesome family that supported me through all that, and they cheered with me when I got it. But it's not for everybody. And something else, I don't want to say that somebody cannot earn the IE, but let's think about this mathematically for a second.
Yeah.
Mathematically, we have different learning curves. Now, my learning curve is, I don't know, we'll say, I don't know if we can see this. If my learning curve goes like this.
I'll make a drawing for it.
Thank you.
Actually, maybe I shouldn't promise that. That's a lot of work.
Yeah. Now, I know one guy, he got 4 CCIEs in 18 months. That is not my learning curve. No, his learning curve is like this.
And you can't brain dump that.
Yeah. and what I'm thinking is, different people process information at different rates. They learn at different rates. It doesn't have anything to do with your intelligence. They just process differently. And my fear is, some people go after the IE, and it's going to be a long time. It might be too long to really be helpful in their career. I mean, I know one guy, and I was asked by Cisco person not to disclose the name or anything or the number of years, but I'll put it this way. If I were going to go after my next IE, and I were this guy that I'm not going to disclose his information.
Sorry if you're watching.
Yeah, dude. But if I took one attempt at my lab a year, I'd be dead before I ever got my IE. In one of my videos, I actually show a tombstone that says Kevin Wallace, CCIE 7945. I said, this is not what you want from your life, guys. Your life is not about that. Don't make too big of a sacrifice. You have to really want it. Some people make that IE move. I didn't mean to get off on this. I thought we were just going to do this.
This is great. I can make it more videos.
I'm about to get in my feels, man. But now, personally, I think if you've got a strong desire for it, then that's a good key that maybe you should do that. Now, personally, I'm a Christian, and if you look at the word desire, it really means desire. It means of the Father. Personally, I think if I've got a deep burning desire down inside, that came from somewhere, and I know that I'm going to have whatever things are going to show up to help me get there. So if you're doing it just as it sounds like a good career move, that's not the right reason to get your IE.
If you just want those letters next to your name. It's like, for me, I mean, I could go for my CCIE, but I've had a successful career so far. I got a great job without the CCIE. It's just a matter of keep learning, and demonstrate that worth. But yeah, CCIE is a path, but like you said, you have to really want it.
Yep.
I mean, I've got a buddy right now, he's studying for the CCIE. Hi, Matthew. He's one of the smartest guys I know, but he's investing a significant amount of time, and he doesn't have a family or anything. He's doing all this, all that time invested. If you got a family and stuff, and you got a full-time job, that's a lot of stuff going on in your life. It's a big commitment. Anyways, tangent over.
All right. So, CCIE, when I decided to go for it, I remember telling my wife, I said, there's not an end game here. I don't want to get this new job when I just really want it. I just had a deep desire for it. If you've got a deep desire for it, yeah, it's probably for you. So let me just sum up the steps here. You need to start out with that foundation of just getting in your career, getting that job, being able to move up in your career. And again, link below will give you a free course about how to do the goal setting and all that stuff. After that, Network Plus, CCNA route switch. Then we're going to go into Ccna Cyber Ops. We're going to do network programmability. Not really a cert there to go after. There's a specialization. I wouldn't bother with that. But just learn network programmability. Then we're going to get our NP and route switch. And then choose your own adventure.
Which, I mean, that's an awesome game plan. That's kind of like what I came about to as well, is when I was thinking about what I want to do. You've heard me talk about it, programmability, Python. I took a break from my NP to focus on Python because there is a future in that. Like last year, Cisco Live, I heard all the intent-based networking. I'm like, this is it. I get it. I see it. And here we are a year later, and it's even bigger now. Like they're developing products that are just like, so Cisco DNA, you'll hear me talking about this, but basically your entire network can be programmed. It's run by this super smart AI-like software, and everything you do with the network is going to be in program, in code. It's insane. So you want to be on the forefront of that. So you mentioned that there is no certification for network programmability. Do you think they're going to come out with one more CCNA focused?
Personally, now this is not inside information. I don't. There is a specialization that you can get, but that's normally if you work for a partner and you want to buy equipment and get a discount. For people who are in the career, I wouldn't go after it. I don't think so. I think it's going to be integrated more and more into existing certifications. Like with NA, this past NA, they integrated some network programmability where you had to know about the APIC EM. You had to know about the what was it? It was the longest bullet point I'd ever seen in a blueprint. It was the APIC EM ACL path trace analysis tool. So yeah, that's in the current CCNA route switch. So I think, and again, don't know for sure, and I couldn't say if it did, but I think in the new route switch, NA when or NP when it comes out, don't know when that is either, by the way. Yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of programmability in there, and Cisco's already announced with the new collaboration, i.e., I think there's going to be some. I saw my session this morning actually talked about it. How there's going to be like some ACI stuff in the new collaboration lab. So, big question mark about what that's going to look like.
That's huge.
But yeah.
If you don't know what ACI is, it's basically programmability for the data center. So if they're moving that into the collaboration space, that's going to be huge. Yeah. It's huge.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Kevin, for being on my channel. I mean, this guy has been such an inspiration. Like, his podcast, which, okay, links below for all Kevin's stuff. So if you have any questions, it's right there. But the Broadcast Storm, which is one of the coolest names ever for a podcast. I mean, come on. If you don't get it, then you're at the wrong channel. But the Broadcast Storm, he has so many tips. Like when I was going through my CCNP, I rode on the treadmill and I listened to his podcast. Like really inspirational stuff. And then your most recent one about your daily habits. It really inspired me. I did it for about a day and I'm about to redo it again. You have to keep trying. But yeah, thank you so much for being on my channel.
My pleasure, thank you.
And that's about it. We'll catch you guys later.